Hello, and welcome to Black Metal and Brews, a program in which I uh, strive to do my best to share my thoughts about cool music and good beer. Uh, I've got an error right now saying that it's unable to connect to the live chat. So if you're watching right now, just please try to say something. Or actually, I'm going to do that. So if you're watching and that comes through, let me know. Just because I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm learning as I go. Um, so that's fun and weird, and not great, but I wonder why it did that. We're gonna take a quick second and look and see if I can figure this out. See if I can troubleshoot. Uh, maybe let's see. Well, if somebody wants to try and live chat, let me know. If not, this may be a little bit of a one-sided stream today, for which I apologize. So, uh, it's a sunny day here in Brooklyn, New York. I hope it's nice where you are. It's a relief after the rain yesterday, although it finally felt like quarantining weather, I guess. Um, so, this week, I am picking some of my favorite records and tapes from 2018 and 2019 in an effort to kind of do some recap, make up for lost time. Uh, Today, we're going to start with a massive cut from a record. It's a double LP actually that I really enjoyed, which is Ulver with Drone Activity. Came out in 2019, was recorded in 2018, so it's kind of touching on both. These are reworked live recordings, so that's neat. It's You can see. Actually, I'll show the art in a bit. I'm going to start playing this because it's quite long, the song we're starting with, but really good. Look at that. I'm, you know, I'm not one of those people that needs colored vinyl, but it doesn't hurt. It's nice, isn't it? So I hope you're all well today. Again, if you're just popping in, please try and say something in the live chat because it's given me a hard time and I can't tell if it's actually showing up or not. So wanted to dive right in with the music since I've got a lot for you folks today. I'm actually going to take 5 seconds just to look at and see if anybody's saying something to me there about the comments not working or working. So if you can live chat me, uh, let me know, and if not, you know, that's cool too. But I'm just curious if it works because I'm going to be really paranoid the whole time thinking that it is secretly working. Nobody wants to talk to me. Yeah. So, and of course, I threw on A side when I meant to throw on the B side, which is what we do when we're flustered, isn't it? So, nothing against the A side. I just, I'm always playing the A sides of things, and I thought I'd switch it up a little. This song is called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, much like the classic book that you probably read as a child in school. Or at least I did. I don't think it was for school. It was there, so I read it. So, again, really cool art. House of Mythology releases always have great art, and Ulve has really good art and direction in general. So, really cool. You can, here's information on the show from which these recordings were pulled. So you can kind of see some artful live shots and, not basic, but just straight up liner notes, just explaining what it is, where it came from, and a slightly poetic take on what's contained in the record. So I think that's neat. Uh, it's a really good, beautiful album. Uh, Sometimes I start these live stream chat notifications gonna mess with me all night, but we're gonna make the most of it as we do. If that's the worst thing that happens to me today when there's a pandemic going on, I guess I'm okay. Uh, got my uh, Dollar Tree novelty wine glass that I'm using as a beer glass, and we are drinking tonight Other Half Brewing's double dry hopped India Pale Ale called like OH, and it is not gonna show up so well for you because it's like a silver on white print. You can kind of see that. Uh, Other Half is a local Brooklyn brewery, and not to be confused with Brooklyn Brewery itself. Uh, but they are quite good. They make some good beers. I've had this one, but don't have the strongest recollection of exactly my experience. So, going in with an idea, but so I'm not entirely blind, but not like I can just tell you about it from memory either. Doing my best to get a good pour here. So, there seems to be a trend lately of hazy IPA, and whether or not they're going, I don't know if that's a trend or if that's just something people like, but this is certainly hazy. This is like if you, it looks like you poured yourself pineapple juice almost. It smells a little pineapple too, a little tropical fruit, little citrus fruit. Got some good smells going there. A little bit of almost melony flavor, but not a lot. It's not overwhelming. Just really good, strong flavor. And I'm just so we'll see. Maybe someday somebody will say something and get through to me. Again, if you are trying to live chat and it's not showing up for me at least still, I'm not seeing anything. Let me know if you like send me a tweet or something to let me know. I'll check Twitter every couple minutes during this until I know that it's working. Just because I'm weird about it. Or if you guys can see each other, that's all that really matters. Mm. So this is quite nice, quite good beer. Regrettably, I'm playing this music as loud as it goes, and I feel like it's still barely audible. Partially because it's a long form electronic drone piece that's, it takes a while to build up. But also, this turntable and receiver for some reason just I can't figure out how to make the volume go higher. But when I play tapes, it's like I put on a setting of 1 of 10, and it's just deafening. No idea why. So let's see what's going on in the world today. Uh, Last night, the president of the United States said he's going to try and get people back to work by Easter, which, I mean, I think in an ideal world, it would be lovely if everything could resume. Fuck work, and all of the, systems and mechanisms of capitalism that force that to be a necessity rather than something we do, for basic needs and for, uh, you know, actual productive things, not just dizzying ourselves. But you know, I don't think it's realistic personally. And anytime I'm looking at medical information that seems to back it up, I think that's insane. So here's to hoping we all stay as safe as we can. Cheers to that, right? Right, gonna peek over. See, no, nobody's tweeting me about this either, so maybe we're just not talkative today, and that's good and fine. Um, as long as it's all working, that's really all that matters to me. Yeah. So sitting and thinking, sitting and drinking. Um, it's hard not to be alarmed by the state of the world. I take comfort in music and beer, as I say almost every time. I find these videos, these like live streams, to be kind of a grounding ritual. It's like an obligation I set for myself so that I have something to do that feels like purpose. Uh, God, my posture is horrible. Like nothing to make you self-conscious, like seeing yourself on camera. I'll tell you what. Um, yeah, it's been nice doing this. Home cooking's nice, although I'm hitting that point uh, where I'm definitely craving like meals out from nice places. Uh, especially because like I don't know why, but some folks on Instagram are posting food that looks really fucking good, and I'm not eating poorly. I have I know how to prepare food for myself, but sometimes you get a little jealous anyway when you see something that looks nice. So I think maybe I think Indian food, Japanese food are the big ones being missed right now. So I'm simply or not equipped to make those myself. Um, but yeah, today I had the absolute delight. If you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen me post about this of watching my dear friend and we've been friends for like a decade now. Live drummer of Lazy Space Cake, Roger, uh, do a shaving of the head live on Instagram live story. I don't know what it's called, just Instagram live. Uh, and I feel like with this mop on my head, I was like, oh, the bar's been raised. I'm never gonna shave my head at all, let alone on a live stream. But that was it. It gave me life. Uh, and I think it was one of those things that made me realize how much I miss, I mean, I always miss seeing Roger, but how much you miss getting together with your friends and how much they make you laugh and just, the absurdity and joy of human life. If Roger gives me permission, maybe I'll share a picture a screen grab that I took during it of Roger mid shave, but you know, that's only with permission. We don't humiliate our friends, even though they humiliate themselves. That's their decision to make. But I thought that was really, I don't know, it was such a surprise, and it really made my day just to see somebody I love doing something funny and just talking and being human. Maybe that's why you're here. I don't know. Most of you don't see me day to day anyway because I've been a sick person for about a year now anyway, and I'm not as social as I'd like to be. So that's like one of my like when this is all over sort of resolutions. Like I think people like make a New Year's resolution. I'm thinking about like COVID isolation resolutions, which kind of like I did last year when I got hospitalized. It made me really reassess things and look at my priorities and what I'd like out of life. Excuse me. This is doing something similar to me. Maybe it's doing that to you. Gonna take a second and look to see if anybody is tweeting at me about this. And again, no. It must just be working fine. So I'm happy with it if you're happy. You know, uh, so it goes, right? Um, but, oh gosh. There we are. Yeah. Doing the wrong thing. I've touched my face. Oh, one cannot touch the face. It's forbidden. The dangerous act. So that's my inner monologue right now, at least. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else. I Yesterday I got a thumbs up to pursue a pitch I sent to a publication. I'm not going to divulge any details because I can't. It's like I want to will this into existence, but I don't want to count an egg before it's hatched. Count a chicken before it's hatched. I guess I would be counting the egg right now. I'm counting the egg, but I'm not going to tell you what should be inside of it. But if all goes well, I got a chance to interview somebody. Now I'm just waiting for the individual to respond to my request for an interview and say, yeah, I'll talk to you, or no, I have no interest in speaking with you. But that could be fun. It's been a long time since I've done an interview, especially over the phone or Skype. I used to do them that way all the time, but then lately, the last few I did were all via email, just because that's the nature of the musicians and what they wanted. Um, I'm a little bummed. I was supposed to do or I did do an interview with Christopher Rigg from Ulve, who's playing now in the background. If you've just tuned in, because I saw my numbers go up a little bit. Interviewed Christopher Rigg for a piece on a certain website. That, again, I'm not going to name names because no fault of their own, but due to some management leadership things, that didn't happen. The interview did, and it didn't get published, and I feel like it made me look bad. So maybe one day I'll try and reframe that interview that's now like 2 years old and put it somewhere else. That'd be cool. I don't know. These guys are one of my favorite bands. If you know, like, they're the reason I found Coil, who are another one of my favorite bands, because they mentioned Coil regularly in interviews they conducted around the time of Perdition City's release, which just turned 20. So maybe we'll play that. I've got that on cassette somewhere around here, and it's a perfect album. Uh, Sounds a little dated in a couple spots, but it's 20 years old. That was an interesting era for electronic music. A lot of that trip hop influence kind of, it's really hard to do that and not sound like a relic of like 1996 through 2002. So, good on them. Uh, let's see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And cool to do interviews, cool to talk to people I respect, and hopefully, do justice to their art. I think it's really interesting. I think it's way more interesting than me. Like, it's weird for me doing these videos because I realize that I'm putting myself front and center when really I'm trying to just share shit that I think is cool. Um, if you're a real old head, I started doing the blog. Just there was no YouTube presence for me. It was just written, and I would try to write about beers, and I realized that I was missing that kind of the sense of what the beer looked like in the glass. My phone at the time was terrible. I mean, also it was 2012. Smartphone video wasn't what it was, and I definitely didn't have an iPhone until this year. Uh, Last year, I guess the very end of 2018, like November 2018, I got an iPhone, which they do have better video than Android. I'll give them that. Uh, so, I was writing about it, and I realized that just it wasn't capturing it enough. So I decided to stop writing about beer and start, know, filming myself getting. I'm not having a dark time with it or thinking a dark thing about it. Again, I see people coming in, and going. You're welcome to come and go, but if you join in and feel like talking, try and throw something to me in the live chat. My computer's telling me it's unable to connect to the live chat. So if you throw me a comment and I don't respond to it, let me know in Twitter, or let me know if it tells you it's unable to connect to, just so that I know. Because I'd love to talk with you folks if that's an option. And if it's not, that's cool too. Because, I guess ultimately these videos are for me to ramble, and I don't need to rely on others to supplement me. Though it's nice, I like the social aspect, especially right now when I am spending all day in my apartment, literally not leaving the physical space of my apartment. Uh, getting messages from my family, and my dad showing me pictures of his yard, which is beautiful. I mean, it's a yard in the house I grew up in, and I'm like, oh man, it looks completely different. He's like remodeled his backyard. I'm like, oh, that looks nice. Outside is something I see in pictures and through windows now. But that's okay. There's still nowhere on earth I'd rather be than in New York, and I love it here. And I know that some people who are maybe a little less at risk can still go for walks and stuff. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not trying to take any chance of bringing anything into my home at all. Like, it doesn't seem wise to me right now. to run that risk when I don't have to. You know, get an exercise bike, started riding that again finally today. Uh, you know, it's good for the health, both body and mind, to be active. So, if you guys feel like talking, how are you staying active during this? Like, I, I know that there, lots of ways. A lot of people, again, can go out and walk, or maybe you just live somewhere where there's more space or where you're not on a shelter in place order. So that's, you know, good and lucky for you. Uh, I wish it was that way for everybody, but, you know, threats to safety are more important than trying to, excuse me, trying to go out when it's dangerous. So, you know, that's just what it is. So I hope you can hear this record well enough. I sure enjoy it. I think it's subtle, it's haunting, it's beautiful. Um, there's like an immensity to it. I mean, a lot of it does feel very. I hear music and I kind of assign colors to it. It feels like just, heavy blue spectrum colors. Greens and purples and blues. Really like heavy, dark, thick tones of it. Just very focused music, but also free. And I like that. I like that quite a bit. But if you're more of a heavy metal person, if you're not, I've got a couple of tapes after this song that are going to be more uh, loud, for lack of a better word. Yeah, really got to work on the posture. Really got to work on that posture. I'm going to come out of quarantine time either a totally hunched down person or I'm going to be standing strong and tall. We'll see if my constitution allows me to uh, get it together and be strong and tough and stay upright. And again, I see a couple people came in. I'm being told the live chat isn't working. Send me a comment on this or on somewhere else and let me know if you're having the same issue. Nobody's done it so far. You don't have to, but I'm certainly curious to know. Easier for me to know whether or not I should kind of call for a response. The goal is obviously to connect and have a sense of community. But if it's preventing us from doing that, then that's, I guess, just what it is for now. Trying, trying to see what's going on here. Yeah. Well, one of these days I will figure it out. Huh. Okay, wow. Oh, so this is oh wow, we're having some really weird problems. Audio's off and on. Okay, so I popped out the chat and I can see it now. That's weird. Okay. That's really weird. I'm sorry that the audio isn't working so well. I don't know. Maybe somebody else in my home is using the internet, I'm assuming. I don't think our internet's that shitty, though. So I guess I just had to pop up the chat. So I'm sorry it wasn't working for me. I'm glad you guys could talk to each other because that was kind of the most important part anyway. Um, so thank you. Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing the record too, for that matter. It is really quiet. My turntable, I don't know why it is, but like I literally have this thing dimed and it's still not playing loud. I mean, it's a quiet record. Um, but it's about time for us to go to a tape anyway. So glad to have you all in here. And Hopefully the audio doesn't dip or go low or out again. And so also for those who are staying in here, I've received permission to display this glorious image of my friend Roger mid head shave. And of course, now I realize I have no idea where I set my phone. Oh, there it is. There it is. So, gonna switch to tape, and then we're going to gonna see Roger. See Roger in all the glory of looking like somebody's creepy uncle. There we are. I guess I don't need to do anything with that right now. It's from Wishfield. And I listened to this on Bandcamp like once partially, and then knew I was just really into it, and so ordered the tape, and then intentionally didn't listen to it again because I wanted to hear it on tape. And so there's something they do with their guitars that just makes them sound really warped, and it's really cool and melty. You'll hear it pretty much immediately. But I initially thought that the tape was wrong, or something had happened to it, and that was not the case. It's just meant to be that way. That's not good. There we go. So here we are. Let's see. Well, that is strange. Give me just a second. Are we not hearing this? Oh. I wonder if that's why. There we go. The knobs on this thing get so stuck that I have a hard time switching between them and telling what I'm even playing from. So, here's the J card. And it even kind of has that textured thing that the music does. Dune Chainsaw, yeah, this is really fucking cool. Yeah, it just sounds dizzy. I love that. And so, for the people, who were tuned in earlier or saw on Twitter, I mentioned that one of my oldest friends and the drummer of the band, midstream, Roger, looking like a creepy uncle. I love it so much. So you guys can enjoy it. Vincent has asked what the first album was. That was Ulver's Drone Activity, which was released on vinyl last year. It came out last year. I think it didn't come out digital until this year for some reason. Yeah, and we are listening to Wishfield's self-titled tape. Yeah, I mean, I knew I liked it within like the first minute. So for those in the live chat, Sneaker Tapes is again, I'm having other half brewings. Oh, it's like OH dot dot dot. Here it is. It's a dry hop double IPA or a double dry hopped IPA. I don't know my order of words. You can see very hazy, very hazy. It's good. Uh, More fruity than bitter, which is how I prefer them. I'm not into that bitter, biting, overwhelming thing where you have one beer, your palate's wrecked, and then you have a bad time because nothing tastes good anymore. I love that blasting with the. It feels like it's liquid. I love that. Um, did I choose this to pair with the music I was planning? I used to do that. Now I just get beers and hope it'll go well, especially because I'm indoors. I'm not leaving the house any more than I absolutely have to. These are all beers I've had. So I just have one of each. But I used to get two of it, or I'd buy a beer, and if I liked it, I'd buy another to review with something and think of it. But at this point, especially given the nature of our scenario, it's more of just this is a beer I have, and I'm going to pick a few things that sound good. Mercifully, I like most beer, so I haven't had to drink something horrible and say, "Oh, this is lovely. I'm having a great time." I think I do very much enjoy the social aspect of drinking as well as the taste part. But so I think having this to do makes any beer better for me. Just like it is when you're in a bar with a friend or at dinner with loved ones. It doesn't matter. Just the connection. Every now and then I'll try and find small threads to tie a beer to a record or tape, though. But I'm not trying so hard anymore because that can be stressful, and my bank account isn't really in the business. Especially some of the beers I have coming up later this week are beers that the one beer is like $10 or more, and I realize that for some people that's financially manageable, but for me, that's ridiculous. I'm not just going to buy an extra beer to drink to see if I'm going to review it. I'm just going to try it out on the camera, and if it's not good, then I know. But at least it's documented, and I got to share some good music. I always know the music's going to be good, so that works for me. Boop ba doop ba doop boop. It's nice. So yeah, this is Wishfield. I want to say they're from Minnesota, which they got a lot of really good bands there. I've never been, but as far as the Midwest goes, they seem to have like this weird little monopoly on kicking ass. Like it's weird because like this hits like some of the same sort of notes as like something like Ranzi Pazuzu does for me in ways, but it's way more like of the like black gaze, or even it's like poppy black metal. I think a lot of more serious people, like the truly grim people who just want like pure black metal, are probably not going to enjoy this as much. I realize I do, and I don't really care for orthodoxy, although I like a lot of orthodox music too. I think that this fills in just a very inventive spot. I saw some people likening it to the Elizabeth Color Wheel album that came out last year as well. And I do think that there's a kinship, but they're both very different takes on probably growing up with similar influences, maybe. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those bands that has like weird tunings for every song or something. And I'm into that, even though I can barely play a guitar, let alone tune one. So I hope you're all staying healthy and okay. It's weird. Like a lot of time at night after I've done this, beer dehydrates, and I don't drink enough water afterward. Uh, and then I'll realize I'm like, oh no, my throat is sore. I'll have a little cough, and I'm like, oh shit, this is it. This is the end. And it's like, no, you've simply had a beer and you didn't drink enough water, and it's nighttime. I'm being asked to put on the Corona Deathcore song, and I will not. I guarantee that you have seen that video. I think I made it about a minute in. It's nice of people to tag me and things like that, but Vincent, are you asking about the Corona Deathcore song? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Bands are taking this as a great opportunity to make a funny novelty song. You're better off. Somebody left as a comment on my Facebook, and I think a lot of my metalhead friends from my hometown are lovely people, but they're more into just, if anything is remotely related to metal, they love it, or they think it's cool or funny, and everything has to be about metal, and I just don't get that. Like, that's not... My identity is not tied up in a musical genre. I love it. It means so much to me. It has helped me through so much. And I am so much more than just a vessel for conveying the glory of heavy metal. And so are you. I think that's an important thing, is like, you are not what you like. Because that's how you end up with a bunch of guys in Patch Fest judging each other instead of enjoying shit that they at one point just did for fun. Yeah. So somebody tagged me in some deathcore ass video, and it was so well intentioned. He thought I'd find it funny, and it's not my sense of humor, at least. But I'm glad people are still being creative during this. I just think that bands attempting to go viral by posting about this, what a shitty way to do it. What an absolutely exploitative, unethical, scummy way to do something that theoretically is good. Spreading awareness about health precautions, great. Making it near a new song from a TV show. I don't even know enough about TV, so thankfully that's not something in my world. But yeah, I remember 2 jobs ago, I worked my first office job ever. A coworker who was a really nice guy found out I was a heavy metal person, and he liked metal YouTubers. And, well, I'll get back to that concept. So I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a person who happens to be on YouTube. One's a lifestyle, one's just a vessel. He pulls me back to where he sits. He says, "Hey, look at this! Look at this! Look at this!" And it's some guy, one-man banding, which I always expect in musicians to be doing a cover of that song, Somebody I Used to Know, that was popular in like 2011, 2012. And just about doing it like this. And I think this is a disgrace to everything music has ever been about. But he was so happy and into it, and he was really happy to share that and try to have a connection with me. And so I'm not going to sit there and be a dick about it, but at the same time, I don't connect with that. Like, I don't know. I don't think that music is meant to have the same experience for everybody. But I have a really emotional, personal connection to a lot of the stuff I enjoy. I also like some stuff that's just weird or fun. But I feel like the second something feels more gimmick than work, because sometimes things are just weird and it looks gimmicky, but it's not. But if it's just gimmick, I'm probably not going to enjoy that. Maybe you're not either. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan of The Residents, if there was ever a band that could be accused of having a gimmick, it might be them. And if you don't know them, they're not a metal band at all. Don't go looking for the Residents expecting heavy metal. But they are so peculiar, so uniquely bizarre that I can't help but love what they do and have done for music as a whole. Sorry. Oh, it makes me so happy. Yeah, I feel like that's really cool. But yeah, I think that, you can be weird, you can be funny even. Music doesn't all have to be about like connecting to your heart and soul or suffering or passion or any of that. You can just make something fun. But I think there is a line where it almost becomes parody. Weird Al is exempt. He's an institution. Same with a lot of the Dr. Demento stuff. But I don't know. That's just me. If you're watching this and you enjoy any of those things, who the fuck am I? I'm somebody that just has free time in a YouTube channel. The chances are, if you've made it almost 43 minutes into this, you probably agree with me enough. Or else you've, hit the thumbs down and unsubscribed or whatever. Speaking of which, apparently if I get 1,000 subscribers, I can do this from my phone instead of my computer, which will have better sound and audio. I always say sound and audio and video quality. So, I hate the like and subscribe culture, but if you feel inclined to help me one day, maybe straight from my phone instead of my laptop, which is not a trustworthy or good device, subscribe to the channel so I can. And I started my blog in 2012. I started the YouTube channel in 2014. I think that I already hit the peak of readership and viewership, and now I've just kind of got some diehards who I really love and who stick around. But it is weird, the whole YouTuber phenomenon to me, I mentioned it yesterday, the needle drop is kind of peak that for the music world. And so I feel that with him, it's more about his personality than what he's actually sharing. And to me, even if he's totally spot on with what he's saying, that inherently alters the thing. When you are the entertainment, when you are the product, the package, the goal, it's not as interesting to me. I like highlighting art. But also a lot of you being my friends, you watching this, you find good stuff on your own. You don't need to then say, hey, Ben, what do you think about this? And I see a lot of people with the needle drop guy do that to him. They're like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I need you to review this. It's like, why do you need him to review? Don't you already know what you think? Like that's fucking bizarre to me. So I'm quite vulgar on these areas, but maybe you don't care. I don't care. I don't know if you can hear the bass coming through, but it's some great bass in this take too. So good. Yeah. I think this is killer. I realize a lot of you are in other time zones. Stay curious. And I will run out of beer in about a week. So I need to get some new things anyway when I go to the store next. Because I also need food, so I'll have to go anyway. Don't judge. So any recommendations are always taken, if I can get them. Everything's regional,
These vocals are great. No one is. Doesn't sound excited to you? There is a bit of that chunk. I think inherently, if you're making heavy metal, you're somehow a child of that. So I want to say, yeah, they're just a 4-piece. It's just like one guitar, one bass, drum, and vocal. No, totally. I know what you meant, just in that part. Yeah, I think it's absolutely nuts that there's only one guitarist in this band. My vision sucks, so I can't read this. You can see how tiny that writing is, though. Like, it's very little. I'm not great at it. Anyway, that is Wishfield. That's side A of their self-titled tape. I feel like that had to have sold out so quickly. If it didn't get one, and if it did, bandcamp.com is a great website where you can hear it. Now it's time to play another tape. Yeah, no, I figured the type had to be real small. I'm not judging on that. It's also just lighting in here. You know, like I decided not to turn on my lights because they're sometimes blinding, and you can see that mirror behind me. Sometimes they make it like this weird like glare shining back at you guys. So next is a tape all the way from Denmark. And this one's a really cool demo. It's just one song. It's Liljah, Liljah. Not that you could ever. I'll show you the J card. You could. This is hard as hell to read. Like, and I know that you're watching it in a mirrored thing, but still, it's hard even the right way around. This is a one-song demo called "From a World of Cunning." Burning. From a world of cunning light, I fell into the night. So that's the inside of it. Oh wow, fretless guitar. That actually that makes some sense on that kind of weird bendy, shifty sound. It's a fretless guitar. So this is Liljah. A little different, but really just fruitless guitar. It's a very fruitful album. I think this is just a gorgeous piece of black metal. It's like 9 minutes long. It's not like one of those like 20-minute long single song things. It's just like a one-song demo, and it kills me because I want more from this. And this is just guitar, vocals, and drums. There's no bass in this at all. A lot of black metal, as many of you know, is very treble forward. I don't blame you if you leave the bass out, although I like bass in mine personally. It sounds like there's a bass too, but like, well, somebody's listed as guitars, so maybe for the demo purposes they've played bass as well. But they're just a 3-piece, and the singer just sings. But yeah. This one really gets is exciting, and I totally forgot to mention it in 2018 because I didn't hear it till 2019. So, you know, how dare I? Yeah, the Danish scene is crazy right now. They got a lot of really exciting atmosphere black metal, and then check this. Like, it's clearly black metal, but I feel like a lot of people that are into bands like Converge and shit will like this. Or a lot of hardcore, for that matter. Is that the drumming? That's such a hardcore thing. If Roger's still watching, maybe you can chime in and let me know if I'm wrong. But I feel like I came up through metalcore initially, so this is like a great intersection of that for me. This guitar, I'm gonna keep thinking about that. So apparently, at least one other person is drinking while watching this. So also those vocals are just ridiculous. Like that's, I love it. Is that really throaty black metal vocal? Oh, it's nasty, but it's also catchy. I think stuff like this is why I keep up with the demo community. Uh, yeah, we're still live. Thank you, Farhad. I thought I've been wearing band shirts every day for weeks. I just here on lockdown because I've got no one to dress up for, and I thought I would give you guys a laugh. It's my Black Gaze apparel. So welcome. And since at least one person just joined in, we're listening to Lilja, Liljah. It's black metal, but it kind of reminds me of a lot of the metalcore shit I came up on, like being a teenager in the early 2000s. Or like I'm late 90s too, I guess technically. Yeah. Yeah. All designs on shirts, and even though it's kind of hard to tell as I'm moving, it's like a lot of little white and grayish, bluish flowers. Like, I don't know. I guess after being like gothy and band shirty for 20 years, I had to add a little bit to my wardrobe. Also, it's like a way of being weird when you have an office job without like fully just falling into that like white shirt and tie culture. Like I've become that guy that shops at Zara, which I can live with that. Yeah, I really like this. This guy sounds like he's in a lot of pain. So far out, do you have a beer? Does anybody else have a beer? I feel like it may be just me. Oh. And I've got to look around for beer mail. Other half stuff. And that's funny because I'm drinking another half beer right now. And okay, and I'm gonna admit I don't know how to say it. Is it Shama or Shama? I feel like it's Shama, but I'm bad at this. But I want to do you respect, so let me know. Yeah, I wish you had a beer too. Maybe soon you will. At least the small comforts, you know. Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. Shama. Cool. Like that's one of the things of the internet. Like I lucked out in having a three-letter name. I mean, people still manage to get Ben wrong, but that's their own fault. Somehow, I have no idea. Oh, this is such a good tape. I'll go a couple months without putting this on and then forget just how much I love this. Like, this is one of the best things from 2018. You don't like the vocals, huh? I love that vocal. Like, it sounds ridiculous to me. Like, it's I don't know. You know that dude is gonna be like coughing up blood and drinking tea afterward. Maybe. Well, that's that for that tape. And so I was gonna beer wings and sports. I don't know that band, but I like that I've just been given something I don't know. So thank you for that. Um, seventh inning stretch. I don't know. That is that some Pressman shit? That sounds like some Pressman shit. Seventh inning stretch. Um, I was gonna play another side of the Ulver record. Were you guys able to hear it at all? Uh, if you could hear it earlier, I'll play another one. So I thought it'd be cool to just have something we could fade out on because I realize we're running long here. But if that was way too quiet earlier and you couldn't hear it at all, then I'll find something else real quick. Uh, Let me know. Yeah, seven Fittings. That is a ridiculous band name. That's like, wasn't there that band called The Outfield in the '80s or something like that? There's some dumbass band names. I've been in some really poorly named bands myself, but I remember when I was more going to hardcore shows, I saw some band called Blessed by a Broken Heart, and they were like workout core. They were like jogging in place on stage. Before that was what all those crabcore bands did. Oh my god, that was a corny era for music. Well, nobody's saying that they couldn't hear that we're there, so we're gonna wind things down, I guess, with that. So again, Ulve or Ulver, as a lot of Americans and English speakers call it. We started with him, and we're going to end with him because there's a lot of music. I mean, it's 70 70-ish minutes of music on this record, on this double LP, and it was a corny era. Jeez. That's some dad level shit there. I mean, I don't have kids, but I appreciate a dad joke. Okay, so I've maxed the volume out for this because, again, records are a lot quieter than tapes for some reason on my sound system. Uh, we're going to listen to Exodus by Ulver to wind it down today. And this is like a 15-minute song, but that's just what it is. That's what we got. And there's no way this much beer is going to last me 15 minutes. But I'll sit with you guys since you're all sitting here with me. I always feel like it takes me a good 40 minutes before the crowd really joins in. If you guys who are watching, if later is better for you, let me know. It doesn't seem that I have as much of a European viewership. So if starting a little later helps those on the West Coast and just anywhere else, I guess, let me know. The only reason I've timed it was mostly just so that people in the UK and Europe could tune in if they wished. But these times are always subject to change if you guys tell me that later is better or earlier is better or anything. Yeah, I really dig this song if you can hear it at all. It's a little more soothing than the rest of the album, I guess intentionally. Perhaps it's the last track. Good way to kind of fade out. this is some relaxing, soothing music, which I think is important in these times. I don't think you have to be a necro wizard, dungeon synth guy to appreciate a little mellow stuff. Uh, but there's a little more happening here than in like Brian Eno or something. So it's the best of both. So we finish our beer, or at least I have. It seems about par for the course. And again, now that the sun's like gone down mostly, you still can't see because like that last little glimmer of light. But other half brewings, it was nice. 6% ABV. Not a lot of other details on the can. Doesn't need them. If you've tuned in for the last couple nights, like you saw me reading some absolutely pretentious shit on the Heady Topper, which is a good beer, but like the whole bit about crawling into the can. It's like, come on, man. Like, I appreciate a little creative writing, but the second you start believing your own press, even if it's true, you just look fucking cheesy. That's just me. And the Lagunitas stuff's always a bit ridiculous. And so they'd pay their employees, but they'd also give them a bunch of free beer. So, they can say some dumb shit on their cans and bottles and packages for beer. And I'll still love them and give them a pass. Because that's nice. That sure is nice. My anxiety a lot, but it kind of comes and goes. Maybe it's that way for you. Maybe you're totally gripped by it. Maybe it totally doesn't exist for you. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you what you're experiencing, but thank you, Shama. And don't worry, you're not missing much. I'm winding down here. It's been a beautiful day here in Brooklyn. I hope it's been beautiful where you are. I forgot that spring began because there's too much other shit going on. I barely remember what day it is. Yesterday I forgot how old I was. Not by a lot, but it's those little things where it's like you really cling to the smaller details of life. I don't know how many of you are in lockdowns where you are, but we are here in New York mostly. And if you aren't, but you probably should be, don't be a fool. Go out if you must to get things that you need. Otherwise, stay home. There's nothing good for you out there, which is a really weird thing to say because I think we all miss going out. Tomorrow, I'm going to be putting another one of these together. In the morning, I'm going to throw up another playlist on my Patreon. I'm going to make a playlist of some of, the playlist is actually going to be related to this. So if you're watching these, maybe the playlist won't suit you as well. But it's going to be just 10 songs that are on Spotify, because I'm using Spotify to make these playlists, that are from some of my favorite albums from the last couple of years. Just because I think that that's fun and interesting, and maybe people will like it. Nothing on Patreon is going to be behind a pay gate for now and maybe forever. I don't know. Just because, if you want to go there and see it, do it. But I think 20% of the United States has lost their jobs by now. Fuck that. I'm not charging people money. If you have a couple bucks to throw me, as somebody that doesn't have a real source of income right now, that'd be cool. But you owe me nothing. We're all here to connect and share. I'm so grateful to have a community right now, because I think without people to talk to on the internet, we'd all be going a little crazy. And if we are anyway, still, that's totally fine. No judgment. But shit is weird. Anything that helps you feel normal is important and worth it. So with all that, I think I'm gonna call it. While the song is still playing, we're just gonna wind down, tune out. So thanks for being here. I'm gonna put links to the bands and stuff in the comments later. So if you like something, revisit this in about 5 minutes, and I'll have some stuff up. And Ben, you're you. This has been Black Metal and Brews. Thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna do this again tomorrow, and we're gonna keep doing it until we're out of quarantine. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.